Hello and welcome to Learn, Do, Become Radio. I'm April Perry, and here at Learn, Do, Become, we help people who are drowning in the details of life to develop simple systems so that each one of us can do what matters most. And today we are talking about 3 tips to create a super streamlined next actions list. Everything I'm talking about today will be linked on our show notes page, which is learndobecome.com/episode 63. Now, what we're doing today is actually taking the audio from one of the Q&A calls I did inside of our STEP Mastery program. So STEP is our main program here at Learn, Do, Become. That stands for Steps to Everyday Productivity. Basically, we help people who are drowning in piles, who have thousands of emails and tons of paper and super long lists, and who feel overwhelmed. And what's so interesting is whenever I tell people what I do, I hear, ooh, I think I should look at that, because pretty much all of us are overwhelmed because so much is coming at us, more than ever before. But today we're actually going to talk about 3 tips that really make things manageable. In fact, I was talking to a friend who came over today, and I was telling her how I help people who are in piles of paper and things like that, and she said, oh my gosh, if you could just help me organize my mail, I would feel so excited. And I just said, there's a secret to it. It's really not that hard. I could help you do it. Absolutely. And that's what I want you to know is if you feel anxiety or stress or overwhelm, whether you're running a business, whether you have a job that just has a whole lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, or maybe you're volunteering, or maybe you're running a family, we get emails every day and people will send us photos of their piles and say, is there hope for me? Can you help me? And the answer is 100%. You have to have the desire, but if you have the desire and you really want to get out of the piles, this is the best process that I know of, and I am thrilled to have you here. So the basic idea, the 3 concepts we're talking about today. First, we're talking about how to reprioritize what you're actually adding to your list. Second, we're making sure you identify the true next action. And then third, we're going to help you keep your list short for maximum productivity. So go ahead and jump into the audio from our Q&A, and then I will meet you on the other side. Now, as I'm in the Q&A, I'm actually pointing to things and showing things. We have the video on the show notes page. So if you would like to go there, remember learndobecome.com/episode 63. You can actually watch the video, and maybe you'll even want to listen first and then go back and watch the video. It's, I think, 5 minutes or something like that, but totally worth it if you want your list shorter. Okay, so enjoy, and then I will meet you afterwards back here in just a moment.
It says, I'm having trouble with context-based to-do lists because I feel like I'm putting too much on them. I have all these one-time tasks, and it's just turning into yet another overwhelming to-do list. I'm putting them in a sauna. I don't know the best way to go about this. Let's start with context-based to-do lists because I'm actually having a similar issue, and let's solve it together. My context-based to-do list, I do keep it pretty short. So this is my list right now, not that long, but I've had 5 things sitting on here for like 3 weeks. What's my problem? We don't want anything dead sitting on this list. Everything on this list, I want it to be like, oh, yep, let's do that. Yep, let's do that. Like super simple. So let me read to you some of the ones that are not getting done. Okay, one is I wanted to hang up our mirror by our front door. We have this nice mirror and I want it hung up. Now I already asked Eric, hey, if I set it next to the front door, could you hang it up? He's like, sure, no problem. But I realized this mirror and this other painting that I have written down that I wanted to hang, for some reason, like it's just, that's not my highest priority right now because instead what I really want to do is finish cleaning up from the holidays. I'm not really thinking about hanging things on walls because we still have like just stuff sitting on the counter that still needs to go out in the garage with Christmas decorations and things like that. So I have something on my list, but it's actually not my highest priority. So what I want you to do is look at what's on your list and think, okay, what is on there that yes, I want to do and need to do, but it's really not my highest priority. And then you're going to move it off your list. Now there's a couple places you can put it. With this system, it's not always just like one place to put it. There's a few places. For things like hanging up these mirrors and these paintings for me, because we just moved in our house, we have like nothing on the walls. And I feel like, oh, we've been here, 6 months. I should have something on the walls. I need to decide, is this going to be like a someday item? I just put it on my someday list and I don't worry about it right now. Or for me, what I do is I'm thinking, how about next month I work on the wall hangings? And what if I make that a project in the next month? Now, you can create like a little next in line current projects list. The way that I do that, So I'll just show you how I do mine. This isn't like in the program as the way you have to do it, but this is the way I do it. We talk about calendar triggers in the program. I'll show you how I do mine. Okay, I use my Franklin Covey planner. I don't use the calendar. There's nothing on the calendar. It's just blank because I use the Google Calendar. But on the back of my February pages, it has this, what they call their master task list. This is where I throw calendar triggers of things I just want to take care of in February. So I need to go buy some new makeup. I just put that in February. Yeah, I'll think about that then. I actually did add things hung on the walls. So I'm going to take care of that. I wanted to do a podcast with this awesome person that I met. So I put that on the my business list. So it's like personal and business. So I just throw the trigger there. Then when I'm doing my weekly review at the beginning of February, I'm going to utilize this list. So basically what I want you to learn how to do is take everything off this list that could possibly be moved even 2 weeks forward, even a month forward or 2 months forward. Take them off and create calendar triggers for them. And I'll show you one more thing that I do. Let's say I'm going on vacation or something like that. And I'm like, oh, I have a lot of stuff that I just don't want to think about until I get back. So I just get out one of these little Post-it, the little sticky notes, and I just stick it in my planner and I write down all the stuff I'm not going to think about until I get back. And then I process it when I do my weekly review in my inbox once I get back. What that does is anytime you can take an existing list, make it shorter, and renegotiate with yourself when you're going to do it, your brain will automatically feel relief and you'll have greater focus to work on the 2 or 3 tasks that will be left. Like the ones that I think could be left are like, I need to call about our vacuum because it's still having issues. And I just haven't wanted to call because I don't know why I haven't wanted to call. You know why? Because I don't know where that exact vacuum is and I have to be sitting next to it when I call. So I think my next action is go get the vacuum and bring it right next to my desk and and it has the phone number on it. I'll just do that, okay? So this needs to change. Instead of a phone call about the vacuum, it needs to change into bring the vacuum and set it next to your desk. That's my next action. So step number 1 that we talked about is that what you have on your list isn't really a priority, so you can reprioritize, delay it. Number 2 is that you haven't really identified the next action. When you really do identify the next action and make it so simple, you're going to move forward on it. But I would have a rule, like figure out what number of items in each context feels manageable to you. For me, it's actually like 2 per category, per context feels manageable to me. Any more than 2, I start feeling stressed. So figure out what works for you. Now, David Allen, he has like 20 or 30. He just talks about having this list. He doesn't care if it has a lot on it. That's fine if that's how he works. That's not how I work. So 2 or 3 things max for me. Okay, so hopefully that can be helpful.
All right, I hope that was helpful for you, and I actually want to share how I am implementing the exact same things today. I recorded that video, I think a couple of years ago, but I'm still doing the exact same things today. Oftentimes we think that people who are super busy or who are running big businesses or who have a lot going on in their lives must have really long to-do lists. I actually believe it is exactly opposite. People who are able to do things that require a lot of brain power or coordination, management of details, typically have a system that helps to keep it simple because otherwise you would go crazy. The only way I can manage taking care of myself and my family and running a business is because I have this system in place. I literally use it every day. I don't have one pile in my life. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I grew up with so many piles. So I know what it's like to be drowning in them and living with them all the time, and I don't have them anymore. So I'm going to go back through those 3 steps that I talked about in the video and give you a today version. All right, so the first one, reprioritize what you're actually adding to your list. This is so important because many times, because we are compassionate and because we're responsible and because we care deeply about other people, we take on more than we can manage. And we'll say, oh, sure, I can take that. I can take that. Oh, I'd be happy to help you. Oh, yes, give it to me. I'll take it on for you. And what that does is it creates a lot more stress. So the basic concept I want to explain today is that anytime we say yes to something, then something else has to move on our list. Not be removed from our list, but maybe go from a current to a next in line or to a someday or something like that. Now, I use asana.com, asana.com. Right now, I use the free version and it's amazing. We have a whole podcast on that if you want to learn how I set up Asana. But just this morning, Eric and I sat down. We do a weekly meeting, and we kind of got out of the habit over the summer, but we are back. So we sit down, we do our weekly meeting. It's 10 days and 10 minutes. We do the calendar, and then we open Asana. Eric hates Asana, but I love it. So I open it, and then we prioritize projects. And what we did is we looked at our current projects list. And then Eric said, okay, but I think it's really important that you do this other project. And I thought, okay, that's great, but then where does that go in priority with this one that we already had on our list? So Eric and I were able to look at both of them and weigh them, and we had kind of a heated discussion. We were having some healthy debate, not heated, I should say, healthy discussion. And then we decided, okay, yes, the one that we already have on the list, that's a higher priority. This other one can wait. It's still important, and we want to get to it as soon as possible, but it can wait a little bit. So we moved things around because by the end of our planning session, the goal is to have a very, very simple list that feels good, where you don't feel stressed out. You don't have to feel like you have to spend 20 hours that day trying to work on things. You just think, all right, this is what I'm working on today and tomorrow. And then when that's done, I'm going to add in the next one. And if tomorrow gets super busy because we have a big meeting planned and there might be a lot more going on, that's okay. Things are waiting patiently for their turn. But just being able to have that skill to know how to prune the list or know how to reprioritize and have a very simple current projects list, that's what helps you to breathe. If you're waking up with panic attacks or you're continually feeling like you are just having too much put on you, it's probably because if you actually sat down and wrote down all the projects that you were trying to do, it would just be enormous. And you'd realize, oh, hang on, I'm actually making a list for someone who's superhuman or someone who has 40 hours a day, which we don't. We're human. And I'm not apologizing for that. And I don't think you should either. Okay. All right, let's go on to the second one, understanding the true next action. All right, this actually is something that I still catch myself struggling with, and I want to share exactly what I do. Whenever something has been sitting on your list for a while and it's not getting done, I really believe one of the main reasons is because you have not clarified in your mind what that next action is. Now, David Allen, in his book, Getting Things Done, totally inspired me. It was back in 2009, I believe, maybe 2008, when I was reading his book. And I had this big project that I was working on that was stressing me out every day. I didn't work on it at all. I totally procrastinated it. And it was a business Eric and I were starting that didn't end up working out, but I was working on it. And when I read Getting Things Done, and David Allen clarified that a next action is that next specific visible activity that will lead your chosen project toward completion, I thought, okay, let me actually boil this down. My next action is really just to get on this specific website and get this specific piece of information. That's all I needed to do, and it wasn't that hard. As soon as my brain could feel like I could move forward, I just started breathing again. And that's when I got so excited about helping people. And that's what ended up fueling this whole STEP movement, which we're so excited about. One recently, Eric and I are thrilled to be working with Mentors International. They are an amazing nonprofit. We have been donating to them for a couple of years now, and we're actually going to be traveling with them to Dominican Republic to be able to look at one of their offices and figure out what they're doing. We're so excited to potentially be helping them more with their training and even take our STEP system into the lives of mothers, mostly women, not all women, in some of these developing countries as they are starting businesses with microcredit loans. Now, if you haven't heard about microcredit loans, it's pretty amazing. Basically, they donate somewhere between $100 to $500 to help people to start businesses, and then they support them in doing it. So we are thrilled about this. And we're actually taking our team with us, which is going to be amazing. Super excited about that. And what's happening is as we go into Mentors International and we're exploring, we want to be able to bring with us some information about how we can be most helpful. And they sent us their current curriculum so we could review it so then we could know how we could be most helpful. I'm literally so excited about this. Like my heart's pounding just thinking about it, because sometimes my biggest worry is, oh, what jeans at Old Navy fit me or something like that. And that seems so silly when some people are just trying to figure out, how do I feed my child? Or how do I help my children go to school? So important. And the potential there is beautiful. And I just feel privileged to be able to be in a position where we can be helpful. I hope we can. I'm like praying we can. Okay. But my next action was to send our team the Mentors International curriculum. However, I wasn't doing it, and I was trying to figure out why. The reason why is because it was sent to me as a file download, which I downloaded to my computer, but I think it's too big of a file to email. So I realized, you know what, my next action is most likely to upload that file to Dropbox and then send the Dropbox link to our team. So instead of writing on my list, send Mentors International curriculum to our team, I need to write, upload the Mentors International curriculum to Dropbox. Once I do that, I can just copy the link and send it, and it's not that big of a deal. So it's little things like that when you figure out how to make it simpler, then it doesn't feel so hard. And sometimes people say, well, how do you even have time to think about things that are bigger? Or I'm just trying to get my, basic bills paid or the basic stuff going on. And I get it. We had years and years where it was like this. But the way big things happen is the same way little things happen. It's step by step. It's little checklists. It's little project lists. It's just that different things are going to appear on your projects list. And that's where I want you to understand that when you invest in learning how to create a really simple system, it's not only going to help you with the basics, like paying your bills on time and cleaning your bedroom and getting the meals organized and having laundry working, but as you get these smaller things and maybe the more everyday things moving, your brain can relax and you can start thinking bigger. My goal is that each one of us can live our true purpose. And nothing hurts my heart more, well, I don't think, maybe, than hearing someone say, oh, I could never do that. I could never have that. I could never be that. Because you just don't know. And when you can create a vision, and I think when you can create it with alignment with heaven, then you absolutely can. But the vision's not going to happen by itself. So my goal is to be able to help you to create a very powerful, simple Command Central. And then with that step Command Central, you're going to be able to fuel and run and manage the vision. And it might not happen tomorrow, but as you get unstuck, it's going to grow over time. One other example is I'm excited to start a YouTube channel. I love processing papers, and I kind of giggle every time I talk to someone about it because I just say, there is no one in the world who loves processing papers more than I do. I love it so much. You give me a pile of papers, and I'm like, hey, let me show you what to do with this. It's like magic. It's so fun. So I'm thinking, I just want to get on video and show people how to do it. Now, I actually don't like being on video. I prefer podcasting. I actually prefer writing, but I'm finding not everyone wants to read things. So getting on video and actually showing people, hey, this is my desk, here's my paper, here's what I do with it. I think that could be super helpful. But before I started that YouTube channel and really wanted to grow it, I wanted to get the color of my wall a little bit different because our current color, it just kind of looks like gray. It doesn't look great. So we wanted to have this other color. So we've kind of gone through this process of picking the color of what we want. And then we found this painter who'd painted before. And I was waiting for this painter to come and have some time to come over to our house. He's super busy, but I was hoping he could come. Well, it's taken weeks. It's been, I think, 3 weeks since I first texted him, and he still is not available. So yesterday I was thinking, well, this is ridiculous. I want to start this YouTube channel, and the only thing stopping me is the paint color, which I don't even have to have the paint color. I could just go ahead and start it. But I was really excited about having it all set up. I was going to kind of pivot my desk and rehang our sign and stuff like that. So then I realized my next action is to find another painter who's available. So yesterday, my son and I were just running a little errand. And as we're running the errand, I just asked him to help me and to Google on Craigslist, hey, is there a painter? So we found one. And then we just sent a quick text and he said, I'm available tomorrow. And he said, you go buy the paint. And I ordered that on the phone and coordinated with him. And he's actually here right now painting. And it was so awesome. So and he did it for a great price, which was so great. And so what I want to explain is that whenever something is stopping you, because I think all of us, if we're afraid to do something, we create some reason in our minds. Oh, I can't do it until, or I can't do it until that. And when we can actually figure out, hey, what could I do to make this go more quickly? What could I do to accelerate that process? What could I do to overcome this hurdle? Because if you feel passionate and if you feel called and if you feel driven, really, if you think creatively, for the most part, you can figure out how to start moving forward. And it might not be as fast and you might have to backtrack and you might have to redo things and it doesn't always go perfectly, like rarely does it go perfectly, but it's 100% possible. Now, in the middle of all this, we had some emergencies come up. We've had some tech issues, things that I didn't expect for today. So some of that's taken more time than I had planned, but it's okay because the system is organized. All I want to emphasize at this point is that when you truly know your next action, you can get that on a list or on your calendar or in your system or use that 2-minute rule and get it done. You can do it and it's going to be amazing. All right, number 3, keep that list short for maximum productivity. I actually woke up at 4:30 this morning and I was considering going back to sleep, but I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I was at my niece's wedding this past weekend, which was awesome. I was visiting with all my siblings and my dad and having this amazing time getting to visit. And also a little overwhelming at times because there's just a lot going on. And when you get together with family, sometimes you realize, oh, there's different struggles going on. And emotionally, it's a little bit heavy sometimes. But overall, it was a great weekend. But I came home pretty tired. I didn't have a ton of energy, so I didn't handle emails yesterday. I really didn't get anything done on my list yesterday. I just kind of recovered. But then this morning I woke up thinking, I've got a pretty full day and I've got this long list, and I was feeling heavy right when I woke up. Whenever I feel heavy, I know I just need to go through and I need to get things off my plate and I just need to simplify. So I did. I had my morning study, my morning prayer, my morning create my day. I go through and I look at what the day is and create what I want it to be, which is awesome. Looking at my daily reminders with my vision and all the things that I'm excited about, which I think I've talked about in other podcasts. But seriously, that is so fun. So I do that every day. And then I went through, quickly got my emails to 0, quickly organized my projects, updated my planner pages, got my calendar and things organized. Took me about an hour to do those things. And then when I got up and went to meet up with the family around, 6:30 or so, all of that together took a couple hours. When I met up with the family, I was feeling really calm and thought, okay, I can do this today. It doesn't feel that hard. Keeping a list short is a beautiful thing, and not just a daily list, but keeping your life manageable gives you room to be able to be open to new opportunities, or to be able to build relationships, or to be able to really take care of your health. My mom always said, you don't want to burn the candle at both ends. And it always kind of bothered me because I didn't see an alternative. I'm like, sorry, I have to burn the candle at both ends and in the middle. I'm burning it everywhere because I just have so much I need to do and I'm so overwhelmed. And I just thought you had to just burn it all. It's actually not the case. Well, you can do that, but I don't think it's as effective. What I would recommend is that you delay as much as possible. Not the important things, not the things that have deadlines or the bills that have to be paid today, or the big rocks, as Stephen Covey calls them, those really important things, building the relationships, the opportunities that are really crucial to your career or your family or your personal life. All those big rocks and the important things, yes, we do those. But there's a lot of little stuff that creeps into our lives, or a lot of, oh, I wish I could do this. Oh, it'd be great to do this. Oh, I want to do that. We just delay it. We move it into the future, onto the someday. Make your current list as short as possible. And then if you're ever feeling stuck, if your list feels super long, you want to just ask, why am I not doing this? Learn how to figure out those next actions. Learn how to really dig deep. And then finally, I really want you considering, what is my threshold? Where is it where is my breaking point? Or where is that point of overwhelm? And then let's stay as far away from that as we possibly can. There isn't one thing that's going to make us happy or successful. It's a lot of things all working together. You know that. But what I do believe is when we can put these things on paper, have our solid routines list, a simple calendar, a very small current projects list, and the Step Command Central to support you, I believe that at that point, when you have that system, it helps you to be able to become more in alignment with God. It helps you to be able to think more about your vision and your purpose. Simplicity, minimalism, decluttering, a lot of these words just speak to our hearts, right? There's a reason why Marie Kondo's Netflix series totally went crazy. It's because none of us want to have clutter everywhere in our lives. We want clear, clean, beautiful space. And that is 100% possible. Thank you for being with us. If you are brand new here and you're thinking, how can I build my Step Command Central? Our STEP program can help you with that. You can learn at learndobecome.com/step. We'll also have a link to that on our show notes page if you want to watch the video or review anything I shared today. learndobecome.com/episode 63. Just the numbers 6 and 3. We're thrilled you're with us. Great things are happening. I can't even tell you how excited I am about it. There's a whole lot of projects going on, but not all by me. A lot of them are in process with people who are helping us, which I love. And I'm so grateful for our team at Learn, Do, Become, for our community, for Eric, who seriously keeps all of this going and supports me behind the scenes. You don't hear from him very often right now, but he actually is excited to be on video more, to be doing more podcasting and getting out in front a little bit more. So that's coming too. And thank you guys for all of your support on the Step for Students promotion we just did. If you're new to that, go to learndobecome.com/S4S, S and the number 4 and then S, Step for Students. It's fantastic. Our daughter Grace is taking care of that, and so many fun things are coming. So, all right, I'll close up for today. So happy you're here. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon at learndobecome.com.